The love that stayed silent. I used to believe love was something loud, something obvious, something that announced itself without fear. But I was wrong. Love can be quiet, so quiet that it learns how to live inside your chest without ever asking to be heard. I didn't fall in love with her all at once. It happened slowly, in moments that didn't look important at the time. The first time I noticed her, she wasn't doing anything special. She was just standing there, waiting. Not impatient, not distracted, just present. There was a calm around her that felt unfamiliar, like a place I had been searching for without knowing it. I told myself it was nothing, just curiosity, just interest. But interest doesn't follow you home, and curiosity doesn't replay someone's voice in your head at night. I started finding reasons to be near her, not obvious ones, safe ones. I learned how she liked her coffee. I learned how she avoided certain topics. I learned the difference between her real smile and the polite one she gave to everyone else. She trusted me quickly. That should have warned me. We talked about small things, music, movies, the kind of future that feels far enough to be safe. She never knew that every word she said stayed with me longer than it should have. I loved her quietly, without expectations, without demands. I loved her the way people love sunsets, knowing they don't belong to them, but watching anyway. Then she mentioned him, my friend. She said his name like it carried weight, like it meant something more than friendship. I felt it then, the first real pain. Not sharp, not dramatic, just heavy. I asked myself if I should say something, confess, be honest, but fear speaks louder than love when love feels fragile. So I stayed silent. She talked about him often, about the way he smiled, the way he listened, the way she hoped. I listened too, like it didn't hurt. I became the place she came to when she felt unsure, the place where she could be honest without consequences. That's the cruelest role love can give you, being trusted by the person you love to help them love someone else. I encouraged her. I told her she deserved happiness. I meant it, even if it destroyed me. My friend was kind, but distant. He never looked at her the way she looked at him. And slowly, I noticed something else. He watched me when he thought I wasn't paying attention. He laughed harder at my jokes. He stayed longer when it was just the two of us. At first, I ignored it. Then one night, everything changed. We were walking without a destination, just moving to avoid staying still. I feel lost, he said. I didn't interrupt. I've tried to be what everyone expects, he continued, but it feels like I'm lying to myself. I knew what was coming before he said it. I don't love her, he whispered. I don't think I ever could. My chest tightened. Then he stopped walking. He looked at me like he was afraid of his own truth. I think I love men, he said, and I think I love you. The world didn't stop, but something inside me did, because love had finally chosen me, just not in the way my heart had been waiting for. I didn't feel relief. I didn't feel joy. I felt grief, because the girl I loved him, and the man who loved me was standing in the ruins of my silence. I didn't answer him, not because I didn't care, but because I cared too much. She came to me days later, crying. He had rejected her gently, honestly. She blamed herself. I held her while she broke. I let her tears soak into my shirt like they belonged there. She trusted me with her pain, and I carried it like a punishment. My friend waited for me to speak, to choose. But love doesn't always ask you what you want. Sometimes it asks what you can survive. I chose distance. Time did what I couldn't. She moved on slowly, painfully, but she moved on. He learned to live his truth openly, bravely. And me? I learned how to live with unsaid words. Years passed. I smiled at weddings. I congratulated engagements. I listened to love stories that didn't include me. Some nights, I wondered what would have happened if I had spoken, if I had been honest sooner, if timing had been kinder. But life doesn't rewrite itself for regret. Love doesn't always end with together. Sometimes it ends with understanding. I loved her without being loved back. I was loved when I couldn't accept it. And now, I live quietly. Not bitter, not angry, just aware that some loves are meant to stay inside us, unspoken, unfinished, but real. Love speaks quietly, and sometimes that's all it ever does.